The Spanish and Hispanic influence in the United States. Let's take a look at these pictures: flags, writers, artists, singers, and food. How did it happen? Let's remember. The spices: God, glory, gold. Economy was the motor for Christopher Columbus to start his journey. Many merchants were becoming extremely wealthy through the spice trade. So Christopher Columbus believed that he could open a trade route heading west across the Atlantic to reach India. Of course, he needed a crew, and he asked the Portuguese king for finances, and he denied. However, the Spanish monarchy did give him help, and they promised him that if he found this new route, he would be named as the Admiral of the Oceans. So he did. He headed to America, and on October 12, 1492, Christopher Columbus encountered a new world, and he arrived to the Caribbean Sea, and specifically in Dominican Republic. However, he named that place San Salvador. Let's take a look at this map. It's a map from 1658, and if you can observe, the the countries are completely different as we are today. The reason why we are talking about this or looking at these slides is for you to acknowledge how the Spanish influence impact North America and of course the rest of the Americas. And now we have three more maps. Let's look at the one in 1750. All the green are the Spaniards' territory. This is the orange is the Portuguese. The blue one is the French. The red one is the British. And the brown one is the Russian. In the map of 1763, I know it's hard to read, but notice that this part, the yellow one that I'm pointing at, that is called Mexico now, was named New Spain. Colombia and Ecuador did not existed. This is New Granada. The only country that still exists is Peru, because the Spaniards had a big virreinato in this area. The dark green is the Portuguese, the brown are the Dutch, the pink are the British. And now, and we have a map here from 2015, and these are all the Hispanic countries or the countries that speak Spanish as their official language. In total, there are 21. In Europe and Africa, we have Spain. In the Equatorial Guinea, in the Caribbean Sea, we have Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. In North America, we have Mexico. Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. And in South America, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, Chile, Argentina, Uruguay. And Uruguay. So notice that the only country in South America was Peru, but all of these countries evolved after their independence from Spain. So let us not forget about the Spanish territory so that we can understand why there is so much Spanish influence in our area in the United States. So let's look at the Spanish population right now. The Spanish population has grown within the past decades, and it keeps on growing. So looking at these pictures, look at all these faces, it's very interesting to see how much influence we have from the Hispanic countries. So we have singers, we can have artists, writers, and we also have food, many food. we there is an article that states that the salsa, the red salsa, it's basically taken over the ketchup. I don't agree with it, but it has been a sauce that we use very much, and something that we do use are the tortillas with salsa and jalapenos and tacos and burritos, and most of these menus are in the even in the school system menus. And the curiosity is that it's not even considered ethnic anymore, it's part of the culture. So taking a look at these flags, the Hispanic culture has traced the United States for over 500 years. We have been talking about this in the previous lessons. And, and yes, when California, Mexican states, Florida, and the Southwest were discovered by the Spaniards. And the Spaniards and the Spanish language and the English language have been in contact for so many years, and reason why there is so much influence. This is a very important term I would like to talk about is acculturation. Acculturation is a process through which individuals or groups adopt cultural features from a different group and they take them into their own culture. But the interesting part is that taking it into their own culture does not mean that they are not giving away their inherit or their beliefs or their roots. So, and acculturation is very important because it's, it's a person adapting and adopting values of the country and the society the person is living in. So, a vivid example of this would be someone living in the United States that celebrates 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and that's part of the process of acculturation. So now, after seeing these slides and thinking about how his the Spaniards, which is actually the Castilians, influence all the Americas, and now how the Hispanics are influencing America as well. Now it's your turn to express your thoughts. So, in groups of 4 or 3, you're going to share your experiences. So, the first thing that you are going to discuss in your groups is if you like an Hispanic actor, actress, writer, artist, singer. For example, I love Placido Domingo. I love um, Shakira. Anything that you like, and why do you like it? Or what kind of Hispanic food do you like or you usually eat? And number 3 will be: do you think that the conquest had an impact in our generation? And the reason of the last question is very important because the 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 objective of this whole unit was to analyze and to make a reflection in how history does impact our present. And that's why we need to talk about this and think about many of the things that you think the conquest has this trajectory throughout centuries until today. So after you discuss these 3 questions with your group, be ready to share your thoughts with the whole class so that we can all share. There are many things to learn, much more to learn, and the way we learn is by sharing and learning from each other. This is the last slide, and in this slide I love this slide because you can see many countries, continents, and you can see students thinking about maybe their roots, maybe where they come from, their ancestors. And if you think about it, the United States is a whole melting pot of a whole world coming into one place. That's why culture is so important to understand it, accept it, and grow with it. So this is the end of this presentation, and let's keep on learning and loving our cultures.